Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the H&L show number 2. Today we are going to be covering the movie news from the week of June 12th, 2015. With me I have Hassan. Hassan, you want to say hi?
Hey guys, how's it going?
What were you up to this week, dude?
I just had a pretty chill week, relaxing, went on vacation, came back from said vacation, and it was a great week.
Where
It
was said
was
vacation?
said vacation was in Mexico. It was a
Uh,
great time there.
oh, dude, nice.
Uh,
What part?
Definitely suggest everyone go to Mexico once or twice in their life if they get the chance.
I think people in Mexico suggested they should go over to America.
I think they do too.
Okay. Uh, so today we're going to be covering this week. We have the Batman v Superman synopsis, the Mockingjay Part 2 trailer, Star Wars The Force Awakens being confirmed for Comic-Con, new Antman posters, the first Zootopia trailer, Chris Hemsworth as the receptionist in Ghostbusters, Independence Day 2 got its first poster, and the Martian's trailer review. Okay. So let's get right into it. First, starting with DC, we have the Batman v Superman synopsis, which reads as fearing the actions of a godlike superhero left unchecked. Gotham City's own formidable, forceful vigilante takes on Metropolis's most revered modern day savior, while the world wrestles with with what sort of hero it really needs. And with Batman and Superman at war with one another, a new threat quickly arises, putting mankind in greater danger than it has ever known before. All right, so what are your thoughts?
The synopsis for the most part sounds as we expected it to. The notable part is obviously at the end, where it mentions the formidable threat. Was it something like that? The new threat that arises while Batman and Superman are busy fighting. That is probably the most interesting part because what is this new threat? Now, some have speculated that it's Darkseid, or was it Doomsday they were speculating? Which one was
Yeah,
it?
they were saying Doomsday. That just came up. I feel like if it was Doomsday, we would have heard about it. I think it's Lex Luthor personally.
Yeah, Lex Luthor. I mean, is Lex Luthor really that big of a threat, though?
Well,
Uh,
he's
it
like,
said
I mean, he's Superman's biggest bad guy, and this is kind of the Man of Steel sequel. Like,
it
it's
said
the
like
second film in the DC universe, and the first film was Man of Steel, and so I mean, you got to follow suit of that.
true, but it said like something that the world had never experienced before, or something like that.
Here, let me pull it back up. It was uh it didn't say anything about a new threat. It said a new threat quickly arises, putting mankind in greater danger than it has ever known before. So it's
Yeah,
not necessarily saying like it has never known the threat before. It's just like it's a new experience. If you
greater danger though.
Yeah,
Is
greater
this
danger.
is
And I mean,
this
well, Lex
yeah,
Luthor is a supervillain. I mean, like he has a big robo suit. He has a lot of money. He's evil Batman, if you will.
pretty much, yeah. But is he putting the world in greater danger than Superman and Zod did in Man of Steel? I
Uh,
don't think so.
With uh, eh, yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Um,
I feel like for
I feel like
someone,
if it was something like Doomsday, we could have heard about it.
yeah, that's true. I think that would be a pretty big deal. Or maybe they're just trying to keep this as a surprise for us to find out during the movie.
Yeah, but I feel like if it's in the synopsis and it's like boom, Doomsday, like and Doomsday should have his own movie first of all. I feel like if you're gonna do Doomsday, do it in I don't know, like Man of Steel 2 or like Superman 2, The Doom of the Day, or I don't know.
The doom of the day.
The Doom of the Day, yeah.
Sounds like something I would order at a restaurant. Like the doom of the day, please.
That's one shitty restaurant. Here's your Doom of the Day. Oh god. Yeah, but I mean I don't know. If it was Doomsday, like I I don't think now's the right time. Like that should be a Justice League villain. That should not be like the main threat of Batman v Superman.
That's true. Doomsday is one of the biggest villains of the DC universe. So to bring him in the second film, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
too
I feel
much.
like set up Doomsday in Justice League Part 1 and 2 and then like make his own movie Man of Steel 2.
Exactly. Yeah. basically have it as a slower kind of progression throughout multiple movies.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like we didn't. Well, Joker's going to be spread out. Like he's going to be introduced in Suicide Squad, and I have a feeling that's not the last time we're going to see him. I,
Hopefully not. No.
from what I've seen, it looks great, and I think we'll see him in the Batman standalone that's planned. I don't think they have a year on it yet, right?
You don't think what?
Do they have a year planned for the Batman standalone?
I don't think we've heard anything about that.
I thought I heard something about like a 2018, I think.
Maybe, yeah. I think there was a leaked slate that put a Batman standalone film called The Batman.
Yeah, but that was like the same one that had like Green Lantern and the Flash.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the last I've heard about any Batman standalone. I mean, I know they had confirmed that there would be a Batman standalone, but they never gave any further details.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on Batman v Superman. Like if it sucks and like Ben Affleck or Ben Affleck, if Ben Affleck isn't like received well, I feel like they wouldn't do that. Like or like they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't rush the standalone, I guess.
True, true. Obviously, the entire slate is changeable.
Oh yeah, it's completely. Like I mean, like look at Marvel. If I don't know, Civil War bombs, which it won't, but I mean, like then you just don't really have the same plans.
Hmm.
Okay, so I think that's enough on the synopsis. Let's go over to our next topic, which is the one minute.
The trailer for
Oh,
the
trailer for
Hunger Games
Mockingjay. Yes.
Mockingjay Part 2.
Okay, I was not wowed by this.
Well, it was just a teaser trailer, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't anything incredible, but I really liked the way the trailer was done. Some really powerful imagery that they had in there, but that was about it. Again, it was a teaser, so not, nothing mind blowing in there.
I mean, it was no Star Wars: The Force Awakens teaser.
Nope, no.
Nothing will be. Which we'll talk about in a little bit. Wink, wink. Uh, no, but I feel like uh, it felt like a part. It felt like the last movie, just part two. Like it felt like the same movie. I'm still kind of upset that it's split in half. I feel like they didn't need to. But I mean, it is what it is, and it just felt like Mockingjay Part Two. Like it's what you expect.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Although I'm glad. I think the Hunger Games movies have been really good to date, and so I think if they can just keep up that quality with Part 2 of Mockingjay, then we'll be all set.
see, I was not a huge fan of the first or the Mockingjay Part One film. I loved Catching Fire. Catching Fire was my favorite movie of
Catching Fire is still my
2013.
favorite. But
Yeah, Catching Fire is by far my favorite. And just I feel like 2014's Hunger Games Mockingjay Part One, like it was okay. Just
yeah,
you better get together, Lionsgate.
that's true. I feel like, and I really hope this isn't the case, but I feel like it'll suffer a little bit from what the Hobbit trilogy suffered from, where you're adapting something which was originally one continuous story, and so the way that story, in both cases, actually a novel, was written with the traditional plot structure of an exposition and then an inciting incident and a rising action climax and then a falling action resolution, that
Shut
whole
up! I
thing.
forgot about English class. It's summer, bro.
Because you have that whole traditional plot structure, and then when you split that up into two, or in the Hobbit's case, three parts, then you don't have the traditional plot structure for every movie. So with the Hobbit, you had, although they did have kind of a climax at the end of each film, the major climax was in the Battle of the Five Armies, and so we saw this. The first two Hobbit films just set up um, the events of the Battle of the Five Armies, and that's made the Battle of the Five Armies just all pay off. It was just like the climax and
Yeah,
all the climax and falling
yeah. I
action.
felt like the third film was basically just all climax, which I mean that's not bad. I think
Exactly.
the third Hobbit film was probably my favorite. Second would be Desolation. First being Unexpected. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just like you can kind of tell those movies suffered, and that's why they're not quite on the same level of Return of the King, Two Towers, and Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, it's just I don't know. I feel like the whole uh, splitting it into way more movies than it should have been is going to hurt. Hurt. It already hurt The Hobbit, and it will probably hurt Mockingjay and hurt Allegiant. But who cares about those? Those movies suck. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a fan of either of those. All right, so let's get into topic number 3, which is good old Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So
Yay.
this week it was confirmed that Star Wars will be at Comic-Con, and also confirmed is that Marvel will not be at Comic-Con. Hassan, what are your thoughts?
I am tremendously excited about this. Of course, I am a diehard Star Wars fan, as I have been for pretty much my entire life.
Nah,
So
bro. No, Star Wars sucks, bro. It's horrid. No, I'm kidding.
we yeah, it's such a huge deal to me, and I'm so excited about just all the new Star Wars stuff, but in particular The Force Awakens, and I'm just super excited that we're going to be seeing that at Comic-Con. Of course, I, as many other fanboys, was disappointed about Marvel's absence at Comic-Con, but I think when you have something like Star Wars, I think there's no problem anymore. That
Yeah.
really just um, it adds this new level of anticipation for me for Comic-Con.
Oh, I'm also really interested at Comic Con. The Force Awakens thing is cool. I kind of expected it happening. It also nullifies the rumor that Marvel isn't there because they're going to do D23. Because if that was the case, then they would have brought Star Wars to D23. That's not happening. So I think Marvel is slowly trying to split up and become a part of, like, do its own thing, like the El Capitan show that they pulled off, which was totally freaking awesome. I watched it
True.
online, and but I feel like they're trying to split away from Comic Con, which I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a jerk move to the fans, but I mean, it is what it is. Their business.
Yeah,
But
and
oh, go ahead.
you could finish.
Okay, I also think that it's going to set up. DC is going to pounce on this, and with their new lineup, and it's obvious that DC is not doing as well as Marvel right now. And I think if they have a really solid Comic Con, if they tease movies like Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman and Justice League, I think they're set. And I think they're back in the game. And as long as Batman v Superman is good, I don't see that them messing up.
Exactly. Yeah, and in terms of the news cycle, though, Marvel has shown time and time again that they can get a big headline regardless of the time of year. And so, from a business standpoint, when you're trying to capture a headline or the headlines on as many news sources as possible for as long as possible, Comic Con is not the place to do it because you have sure you get like your several hours in the spotlight, but then another company is going to have their press conference at Hall H, and then you're going to have another one and another one, and so all the big announcements that come out of Comic Con really get drowned out in just all the noise that's coming out of Comic Con. And so to have their own event like what they did for the Phase 3 announcements at the El Capitan Theater is really smart. And we've seen this in the tech industry with bigger companies like Apple and Google and Microsoft no longer presenting at CES because it's so many different companies at the same time getting all their big headlines out. So from a business standpoint, it really doesn't make sense to release everything at the same time as everyone else. So I can really see why they did this.
Yeah,
Also, D23, we haven't had any confirmation that Star Wars won't be there.
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
in all likelihood, it will probably be more focused on Rogue One, because by that point they'd be able to promote it. They have a deal with Mission Impossible Rogue Nation that they can't start promoting Rogue One within a certain period of time after Rogue Nation comes out. So,
Dude, that
but
just makes me laugh that that happens.
yeah, I
just
know.
because both the titles have Rogue, I mean, they can't promote. That's just.
Yeah.
Do you think X-Men Days of Future Past the Rogue cut will suffer? Is this Mission Impossible? Is it Star Wars? What's going on? So yeah. Anything else?
No, I'm again just super excited to see. We'll probably get a trailer, probably the first full trailer at Comic-Con, and besides that, they might
For
have
Force Awakens.
for the Force Awakens,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
and they might show a clip there just as a Hall H exclusive. I'd be really interested to see who
Exclusive until it leaks on the internet, like 12 minutes later.
exactly right.
Do you think if like someone recorded and put it on YouTube, do you think they would like bust them? Well, I mean, like I feel like you can't contain that. Like with a fan base as large as Star Wars, like if you upload the clip to YouTube, just like it will be downloaded immediately. Like the Rogue Nation trailer, or sorry, Rogue One trailer, when it came out, like everyone was downloading it. I have a copy on my computer. Come at me, Disney. But like it just I don't know. I mean, like I feel like a big movie as like The Force Awakens, I feel like you can't stop it.
That's true. I mean, I think so. Probably what will happen is if they release the full length trailer, they'll do the same thing that they did at Celebration, where they put it online at the same time that it's released.
Yeah,
But
but then I guess what's the point of being at Hall H? Like, why would you go?
that's the thing that you would probably get an exclusive, maybe footage
But that
or
wouldn't be
just
exclusive because that would just leak online.
an extended trailer. But
Well,
we've
I mean, I
seen
guess the Batman v Superman one didn't leak.
that's true. They had but it was just an extra clip that they
Yeah.
showed.
Well,
Oh
I mean, it's
no, no, you're
five
talking about
seconds.
the yeah that
Well,
was that
actually, that
last
was
year's
online. Yeah, I saw that.
last year's Comic Con, but that was yeah. I mean, we've all seen it now because that was in their teaser trailer. But so yeah, hopefully, um, that's an interesting question. We've seen that Disney is not afraid to crack down on piracy and spoilers, especially for The Force Awakens. So it's not unlikely to assume that they'll do that again with this if they show anything exclusively for Hall H.
Mhm.
But again, as you said, there's with a fan base this large, it's hard to really crack down on it. But
I,
if
I,
anyone can do it, it's Disney.
yeah, I can't see them realistically stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like it'll be out. Like once it happens, you'll be able to find it.
Yep. So stay on YouTube when their Hall H channel is, just in
Oh
case
yeah.
anything.
Also, going back to what you said about like if you have like a huge announcement and then 15 seconds later it's gone. Uh, that kind of summarizes like if you go on IMDb on the day of Comic Con, it's literally just like flooded with news.
Mm-hmm.
It's like new Godzilla, new Star Wars, new Avengers, new Captain America. It's just like over and over, like
Yep.
Batman v Superman. It's just like it's impossible to hold a headline. So like announcing Spider-Man in February was genius, and doing the Phase 3 event in October last year was genius. It's just it works out well.
Yeah, it's a lot smarter to just spread out the headlines so you can dominate the headline when you release it.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Who are you speculating will be the quote special guests that they'll have at the Force Awakens panel? Because they've confirmed that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will be there, as well as the director of the Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams, and who else have they? Oh, as well as screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan. He's also going to be there.
I have a
But
feeling Harrison Ford's coming.
you think Harrison? Well,
Well, I mean, after the plane crash, I feel like it would be like a great thing to do for the fans. I mean, it's been like 4 months since the crash. Well, I don't know. Actually, I haven't talked to the doctors or anything, but we're tight.
yeah.
I feel like there's a chance he's healthy at this point, and that would be an awesome Hall H surprise. It's like Harrison Ford, he's healthy, he can promote his
Well,
movie now.
yeah. I mean,
And then
we've
if not,
seen.
I think any members of the original cast showing up. I mean, it won't be as special as it was at Celebration, but it'll still be pretty special.
Well, yeah. Well, celebration. Just to recap, we had Anthony Daniels. He was there. Oh, of course, we had Mark Hamill. We had Carrie Fisher, I believe, Peter Mayhew as well.
Yeah, Peter
And
Mayhew.
we had new cast members: John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I can see that same group coming back.
You could see that same. Now, in terms of the other cast members, who do you think? Andy Serkis is a big Comic-Con guy, I've heard. So, is it possible that he could show up since he is in the new movie?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he is a CG character, but I don't think that affects anything. Lupita Nyong'o and Gwendolyn Christie, your girl Gwendolyn.
My girl, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys are tight. Gwendolyn Christie showing up, stuff like that. I wouldn't be too surprised about. I don't know. We'll just kind of see. I feel like any of the new cast members could show up.
That's true. Yeah, I'd be really interested to see if either probably not show up, but Donald Gleason and Max von Sydow, their
Yeah.
characters. Nothing's really known about their characters, so
Yeah, nothing at all.
yeah, nothing at any, not any bit of
Yeah, no.
information.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I'd be really interested to see anything about their characters, or if we see any pictures of, if Andy Serkis were to be there, if we get more information about his character, the way we got more information about Finn, Rey, and Poe Dameron at Celebration. If we could see maybe a picture of him.
Yeah. What's his character's name again? It's
Supreme Leader Snoke.
That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That's so stupid.
but I mean, Star Wars is notorious for having stupid names.
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku.
Rip Christopher Lee. But yeah.
Rest in peace, Sir Christopher Lee. Moving on.
All right. That's a good way to end
Now
it.
that we've
Okay.
really brought down the show.
All right. So 3 new Ant-Man posters. Speaking
No,
of
but okay,
Marvel,
remember Porkins? You're saying that Snoke is a worse name than Rebel Pilot Porkins.
Okay, Porkins is bad.
And that, I mean, Star Wars is just, it's part of, I guess, the charm of Star Wars to have these like weird out there alien names.
Man, yeah,
I mean,
it's rough.
Aliens. So there's a theory going around that Supreme Leader Snoke is actually just an alias, and that Andy Serkis is actually playing Darth Plagueis. How would you feel about that?
That seems kind of too good to be true. That seems like fans just like wanting Plagueis to come back.
I can't argue with them.
No, I'm not saying that that's like we don't want Plagueis back. I'm just saying I don't see it likely.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Darth Plagueis on the big screen, but it doesn't really.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really makes sense, and while it is easy for me to follow as someone who's read the Darth Plagueis novel and as someone who's super into canon, and I think a lot of diehard Star Wars fans, this would be, just a dream come true. I think for the average moviegoer who's seen Revenge of the Sith only a few times and hasn't even heard of the Darth Plagueis novel, I think just to bring in this new character and then have to explain their backstory and where they were the past, during the entire Star Wars saga, that I think it would make the storyline a little bit more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the Ant-Man posters. Finally. 3 new Ant-Man posters were released today. Or not today, sorry. I think they were released 2 days ago?
Something like that, I think.
Yeah. So basically it is Ant-Man sitting on top of miscellaneous objects from the MCU. So one of them is Ant-Man on Captain America's shield, one of him on Mjolnir, that's Thor's hammer, and one on the Iron Man. I believe it's the Mark III suit. So yeah, what do you think?
I like them. They're good posters. I really like the taglines that they have with the posters, where it's like one of them was "No shield, no hammer, no problem."
Yeah, and then the other one on it's just Iron Man's is "No shield, no armor, no problem." I find these posters interesting. I don't necessarily like them. I don't necessarily hate them. I think it's funny because they're kind of trying to make it really obvious that Ant-Man is part of Marvel. I think they are a little bit worried about the film. I'm not necessarily worried. I think it'll have somewhere between 70 million opening, 70 million, 80 million. So that should be good. But I think this is just them like pleading like he's an Avenger too, guys. Don't worry. So,
Hmm.
and I feel like Ant-Man will set up Civil War.
Yeah, 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 and we've already it's already been confirmed that Paul Rudd will appear in
Yeah,
Captain America: Civil War next year. So I'm really interested to see how they use Ant-Man in the MCU going forward, because no sequel has been announced as of yet for Ant-Man, and their slate's already packed as it is. So I think they would have to find a way to fit Ant-Man into the slate, into the existing slate, rather than do what they did with Spider-Man, which would be to push some of the movies back.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like I don't know, like if he does well, write him into or give him a bigger part in Infinity War Part One. Like, because
Yeah, yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that
if
would
you
be.
think about it, that's only 3 years out.
Yeah, that's true. They don't. It's this is their schedule is jam packed. They've got three films coming out starting 2017.
Mhm. And if they need to, they can squeeze one in next year, but or like push one ahead. Like I don't know if like Guardians can be pushed up. I know James Gunn has just started working on it. He's pretty active on Periscope.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're really into the
It's
Periscope.
relevant, dude. It's relevant. Just
It's
give it
for
time.
for now. We'll
And
see
not
how
for
long
now.
it lasts.
Okay, to all of our like 4 viewers, I want you guys. Periscope will still be around next year and relevant.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here. Periscope will be around and relevant next year. Lee Brockman,
Yep.
2015.
Boom. Okay. Uh, wow, we got off topic. All right. So Ant-Man posters. I think that's about it. They're posters. They have the Avengers on them. There you go.
Yeah,
They look pretty cool. I want one on my jam-packed wall.
they do. Yeah.
Okay, so next up is the first Zootopia trailer. I made the mistake, and I thought this was a Pixar movie. It is not. It is a Disney Animation Studio. It's a film they have slated for March 2016, starring Jason Bateman and Jennifer Goodwin. What are your thoughts?
Well, obviously, as you said, you thought it was a Pixar movie. The lines between Disney Animation and Pixar are becoming increasingly blurred, especially with John Lasseter being in charge of both animation studios.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's funny the premise of Zootopia with the animals. What would happen if with animals if there were no humans? Is surprisingly similar to Pixar's upcoming movie, The Good Dinosaur, where you have the dinosaurs. A movie about the dinosaurs
With
where
humans.
well, that's true. There are humans in that movie and not in this one, but still the premises are suspiciously similar there. So a little bit
I
of
think not including Inside Out, Disney and Pixar's next three animated films, The Good Dinosaur, Zootopia, and Finding Dory, all have an animal as the main protagonist.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. You heard it here first?
got some expansion for the Animal Kingdom potentially at Disney
Yeah.
World. Um, but
No one
in
likes
terms
the
of
Animal
the
Kingdom.
what?
When you go to Disney World, no one likes the Animal Kingdom.
No,
Screw nature.
no. Yeah, of
The
course.
circle of life, my
But
ass.
speaking of getting back on track to Zootopia, I think it was a great trailer.
Hmm.
Jason
Okay.
Bateman's narration was really good. Towards the end, kind of the jokes started falling a little flat, but I think all in all, it was a really, especially for being a teaser trailer. Again, it was a great trailer. It was a really fun little movie.
Eh. Okay, I'm going to disagree with you. I thought the trailer was mediocre. I being a Arrested Development fan, it was awesome to hear Jason Bateman. He's kind of been getting more back into the scene recently, which is great. I think he's wicked talented. But I felt like this was kind of cliche. It's what you expect. I mean, if you know the movie's about humans or animals are humans, it's Planet of the Planet of not just apes, just Planet of the Animals. I don't know. It just kind of feels like what you'd expect. Uh, I felt they didn't really show the universe that they're like supposedly running, and I don't know, it just felt kind of bland. Like the white background, I didn't totally enjoy. But I mean, it still looks good. It's Disney Animation Studios; they can't do wrong. But I don't know, I just wasn't too into it.
Yeah, and again, it is just a teaser trailer, so
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
world building in future trailers.
yeah. I feel like the next trailer. I don't think they're bringing it to Comic Con, but maybe like I don't know, September would probably be the day it comes out.
Probably,
Uh,
yeah, and we might see something about that at D23.
oh yeah. So I mean, just like coming up, you'll see more about it. I'm not
Hmm.
too worried.
Absolutely. So
All
what's
right.
next on the slate for today?
Next on the list is going back to Marvel, kind of. Chris Hemsworth has now been cast as the receptionist in the Paul Feig Ghostbusters female reboot, yada yada yada. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a great choice. Chris Hemsworth has shown, especially, I mean, even with Avengers: Age of Ultron, but with a few other films, that he has really good comedic timing. So I think this would be a great film for him to really show off his range as an actor and show off his comedic chops.
Yeah, and have you seen the trailer for Vacation?
I have, yeah.
This is very similar. Or his role. It sounds like. I feel like he would be the next person as the words. No, but I feel like he's a good castmate for the to play the secretary. I mean, if you watch the original Ghostbusters, the secretary and Chris Hemsworth share a weird connection. After rewatching the film, like I can completely see him playing her, and so I'm kind of
Hmm.
excited.
Yeah,
You've seen the original Ghostbusters, right?
I have not actually.
Huh?
So,
Bro. Okay, you're coming over tomorrow. It's been
well,
decided. You are coming over and watching Ghostbusters.
all right, sounds good.
Sweet. Okay, next up is the Independence Day 2 poster. It was at a press event for the film. I don't remember exactly where. It was just kind of a poster on display. Um, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a planet being sucked up by an alien, and it's Earth. So, yeah. What are your thoughts?
It looks like an Independence Day poster. Honestly, I'm not hugely excited for this movie. But I mean, the poster. What?
I'm mad at you. No, I'm kidding. Uh,
The it's Independence Day 2, so it looks like a poster for Independence Day. It looks cool, I guess. I like the color tone, but besides that, that's about it.
So I'm on Google Images right now, and I'm looking at a poster for Independence Day where it's basically like four spaceships. This is the original Independence Day. It's the four spaceships like invading the planet, and then I'm looking at this new Independence Day 2 one, and it's literally like the same shot of Earth and like the same lens flare, except on the Independence Day 2 one, it's just one big ship attacking Earth. And I'm a huge fan of the first film, and so I'm pretty excited for this next one. And just this marketing looks awesome.
Yeah,
Excited.
yeah.
Okay, so our last topic today, the Martian trailer review. So Martian trailer dropped. That was pretty early this week. That was, I think, on Monday. Um, and Martian has a very stacked cast, including. Hold on.
Well, while you're finding that, I'll talk about the film a little bit. The premise is a team of astronauts sent to Mars, obviously, hence the title. The lead of this movie is none other than I'm blanking on his name here.
Matt
Matt
Damon.
Damon, of course. Uh, Nice to see him back in space after 2014's Interstellar. But the team again, team of astronauts on Mars, led by Matt Damon, and after an emergency that we see in the trailer, they are forced to leave the planet, but leave Matt Damon's character behind, and so we see in the trailer that he has to, quote, science the shit out of this and work his
That's
way
me in like
backwards
all my
toward it.
bio finals.
Exactly. I love that line, by the way. That was I need a t-shirt of that.
I think that would be a great T-shirt to not wear at school. So I now have the cast up. We have Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Kate Mara, Jeff Daniels, Michael Pena, Donald Glover, Sebastian Stan, Sean Bean, Naomi Scott, and Chitwell Ejiofor. And those are the only first 10 listed. Obviously, this cast is stacked. It also kind of looks like Interstellar 2 with Chastain and Damon coming back.
That's true, yeah.
So after planetary travels went well, Damon and Chastain decided to head to good old Mars. That's what happened while Cooper was in. That's when he was all wormholing. Uh, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. Ridley Scott has not done too well recently, but I think this could be his comeback. I don't know. I was not a huge fan of Exodus or Prometheus, but I mean everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to think that he still has some of that alien magic left in him.
Oh yeah, and like he completely understands like science fiction. He just needs to get it
Hmm.
like together. And like if he can
Yeah,
execute, then you have your movie.
yeah. Now, one thing for I think from the perspective of a mainstream, everyday moviegoer, I think it's a really good thing for this movie that the science, at least judging by the trailer, was very easy to understand. Now, it's not the first movie, obviously, to be grounded in reality, but versus a movie like Interstellar, where the science was all real and it was all grounded in reality, because it was so complex and not an insult to Interstellar, but because of its complexity in just its inherent complexity in dealing with complex topics like wormholes and black holes and stuff like that, it became a little bit difficult to understand for the average moviegoer. At least, as I was talking to my family after seeing the movie, they didn't fully grasp what was going on the first time they saw it, and so I
Those
think.
darn parents.
Mhm. But I think it's not really their fault. Black holes and wormholes
Yeah,
aren't exactly the easiest thing to understand. So, but when you have things here where he's trying to grow plants. That's a very simple concept to understand. But the fact that has to do it on Mars, that it makes it very interesting to watch.
yeah. I feel like this will be like much more easier to understand space and stuff than Interstellar. So
Hmm.
I think we should be good to go.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, and also it got pushed from its November 25th release date to an October 2nd. So it got booted up just a little bit. It switched with the Frankenstein movie that's coming out later this year that I've completely forgot about.
There's another Frankenstein movie.
Yep, another one
Okay, great.
called You Frankenstein.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's like the Victor Igor. I don't know.
Well, hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I don't really care too much, to be perfectly honest. Well, we'll figure it out. So yeah, that will wrap up our news roundup of the week of Friday, June 12th. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a good night. Hans, any closing remark?
Nope, that's about it. I've really enjoyed doing this. If you want more movie news and just general chatter from us, you can find me anyway on Twitter at Hassan Faruqi.
And you can find me on Twitter at Lee_Brockway, and you can also find me on Periscope at Lee_Brockway if you go and follow me there.
You could probably also find me on Periscope, but there's no use because I don't use it.
Shut up.
Hey, I accept it's relevant right now.
It's going to be relevant for a while, buddy. I'm calling it. All right. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.